What are rich pins? This really isn't a question I get too often anymore. I really only get this when I have new students come into my course, Pin Profit Plan. Aside from that, it's not really a question so much anymore about what are they as much as like, why do I need them? That's probably the burning question. So today's video is going to explain to you why you need rich pins. I'm gonna show you what they look like, and we're gonna dig a little bit deeper into, especially if you're a food blogger, why you shouldn't turn your rich pins off, okay? So today's video tutorial in the computer is going to be WordPress, showing you how to use Yoast to enable your rich pins for articles. So stick around for that. And hey, by the way, if you're new here, hey, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm a Pinterest marketing strategist, and I run a 6-figure Pinterest agency where I help hundreds of clients and students to implement Pinterest strategy in their business. So our team does everything from managing organic Pinterest to paid Pinterest. We even create images and all of the things in between. So if you're new here and that is something that interests you in learning more about how you can use Pinterest to grow your business, hit the subscribe button. Okay, so let's just dive right into today's video. So at the top of the docket, we're going to talk about what are rich pins. In case someone's watching this and they are new to Pinterest, rich pins are a beefier version of a pin on Pinterest. It gives the pinner more information, and it allows them to make a better decision about how they want to interact with your content. So that's kind of short story of what a Pinterest rich pin is. Now, many people may be wondering, well, why do I need it? Well, really, rich pins overall give your pinner a better experience, not only on Pinterest, but with your content. There are 4 different types of rich pins. There's articles, products, apps, and recipes. Of those 4, they all look a little different and they all act a little different. But on each one, you get a follow button, and it gives them a little bit more information about the pin and what the pin is about. If it's an article rich pin, it gives them a snippet of the article. It's usually the very beginning or the metadata that's coming with the pin. And it gives them that follow button where they can really easily follow you without actually going to your profile. Now for food rich pins, recipe rich pins, you get a ingredient list on the bottom. And we'll talk more about that later, about food bloggers and rich pins. For product rich pins, it gives you the product availability, the price, and where they can buy it. And then the button that they click takes them to the shop. And app installs are simply that. It's a button to take them to the App Store to install your app. So those are your 4 types of rich pins. We're gonna go ahead and hop on the tutorial. I'm gonna show you from the start of how to turn rich pins on for WordPress, and then we'll come back and chat a bit more about rich pins after that tutorial. So let's hop in. Okay, so we are going to take a look really quick at what rich pins look like. That way you know what you are getting yourself into, which honestly is no big deal. So first things first, I'm going to show you someone else's pin because I can't logged in show you my pin with rich pins because it just doesn't show you all the information. But this is how you know you have rich pins. There's going to be a big bold title and some text here. And then there's going to be a follow button, and you can click through to their profile. And then there's the bottom description, which this is the description that you tell Pinterest you want. Now, a food recipe pin is going to look, I'm just going to click on this one and see if they have it. This person doesn't have rich pins turned on. It will have the ingredients on it, though, at the bottom. That's how you know if this is a rich pin. There's this information that comes from the blog post, the follow button, obviously, and then the ingredients. There's photos and comments, so people with recipes, they have the ability to leave reviews if they made it. And then this is the description that you would then tell Pinterest it's about. So those are the two most common rich pins. Product rich pins are going to vary, and essentially when you click on a product rich pin, you're going to know it's a product because it's going to have a price on it. So I don't know. Yeah, this isn't a product rich pin, but it's a product. And that's not one either. Yeah, I'm not going to waste time trying to find one for you, but it'll have a price up in the top in the description box. There will be a price there, and you will be able to click through and then purchase that item. App installs are super simple. It's just the Pinterest image, and then there's a button that says install. So those are your those are your rich pins specifically. Now I'm going to show you in my website like how you would install these and turn them on. So now I'm going to log into my website really quick. And you're going to need Yoast. So if you're using WordPress with this tutorial specifically, chances are you're also using Yoast. So what you're going to do is go to the configuration wizard. So over here, click social, and then go to Facebook and make sure this is enabled. And once you enable that, just make sure you save your changes. And then you are going to go and turn on your pins. So you're going to click up and get a blog post. So you need a blog post. And then you're going to go to Google and you're going to type in Rich Pins Validator. And click that link for developers, and it says Rich Pins Validator. Choose any page on your site that you've added the metadata to, enter the URL below, and click Validate. That's it. And it will think. Now, in the meantime, while this is thinking, I just wanted to mention, because I forgot to mention it in the when I was talking to the camera, when you turn on food blogging rich pins, you actually have to have a recipe plugin on your website. So whatever recipe plugin that you're using, just make sure you're putting the ingredients and the instructions for the recipe in that. And then you'll do the same process for this right here. You will turn on the open graph data in the Yoast settings, and then you'll bring one of your website URLs, your blog post URLs here, put it in the box, and then it'll tell you, if this is the first time you've ever applied for rich pins, it'll tell you they are processing your application, and it'll take 24 hours. Essentially, it's taking the platform some time to actually turn them on for you. That's it. If for some reason it doesn't go through, you should get an email, but I've never seen them not go through, so that would be a first for me. It's not to say that it won't happen. But this is what it's going to look like. It'll say, congratulations, your rich pins are approved. And then all of these things will be checkboxes. And that's basically it. Like, now you have rich pins. So I've shown you now how to turn them on if you have WordPress. But if you're watching this video and you have another kind of website, say Squarespace, you may be wondering how you turn on rich pins for that. Well, rich pins with Squarespace are the easiest ever. You Squarespace users pretty much have it made. All you have to do in your Squarespace settings is connect your Pinterest account to Squarespace, and voila, you have rich pins. That's it. Now, as far as rich pins for food, if you're a food blogger using Squarespace, I don't really know, because I don't really use Squarespace and I don't have any food blogging clients who use Squarespace. So if you have a question on that, you may need to go back to YouTube and search again. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, let's talk a bit more about the food blogger argument of not using rich pins. This still comes up in Facebook groups. I still see it quite often. Food bloggers are basically in this weird mindset of, if I have rich pins turned on, someone's going to close up on my pin, see the recipe list, and then they're not going to want to click to my website. They're not going to need to. Wrong. They still need to know how to cook your food. So that argument to me is invalid. All of our food blogging clients all have rich pins, and we have no problems with people not clicking over to the website. In fact, I find that pins have a higher engagement rate but a lower click-through rate for food bloggers specifically when they don't have rich pins and someone clicks over to your website to see if they have the ingredients or what they need, and then they quickly click away. When you have a high bounce rate like that, it's telling Pinterest and it's also telling Google that you didn't solve that person's problem, therefore you may not be relevant in the algorithm. I don't think you want that. My argument still stands. If you're a food blogger, you should definitely have rich pins. So now that you know what rich pins are, how to install them, and kind of why you need them, that's all I have for today. If you liked this video, please hit the subscribe button down below. If you have any questions or comments, then there's that comment section. You can leave one for me. I do try to respond to all of them. And as always, I will see you next week.